Of course, I wanted everything to be delicious. Really delicious. Not good. Really delicious. And we're still always in, the conversation in the restaurant and in the Edible Schoolyard kitchen, in the garden of the Edible Schoolyard. How can we make this better? What is your idea?
I can't tell you how humbled I am to be in this company. Some of you guys have been on this journey with us since day one, and some of you guys are new to our community. And let me paint that picture of where we've come, and ultimately it circles around gratitude. 8 years ago, when I started this organization, this was just a dirt lot in an empty, abandoned farmhouse. And so ultimately, this is our vision. This is our passion that we've come together and created this vibrant ecosystem of possibility. This dinner tonight is so special to me because so many of my favorite people are here, including Alice. And so I can't thank you enough for coming down and being part of our community because you've inspired ours.
And I had the very good luck to go to France when I was 19. And I was edibly seduced, you might say. And I went down to the bakery, and there was a wood oven, and I smelled the bread, and I bought the bread, and I came home to my little apartment with some apricot jam and some of that great French butter. And I said, "Ooh, we got to go down there tomorrow." And then we started looking at the little restaurants, and they were all kind of mom and pop places. Young people were part of it because they were done as kind of a family affair. And they seated about 45 people, always had a little bar on the side. And they even had these little compartments where people who were regular would keep their napkins so that they didn't, of course you never get your napkin dirty in France. I came back from France and I wanted to live like that. They gave free tickets to students to go to concerts and museums. It was a very big picture of culture. We went out and we had picnics in the parks, and I completely fell in love. And that was the beginning of everything. I was in search of taste. Taste I think in the big picture of taste. But that's why, really I started the restaurant. Now, mind you, I had a little interlude learning about education at an international Montessori school. In 1968, if you can imagine, I was in London in 1968. And I had a friend, I just am in the midst of writing this memoir, which I didn't think I wanted to do, but it was tagged on to my other books, and I realized I have to do this. So I'm doing it between sort of birth and the beginning of Chez Panisse, so I can tell you how empowered I was by the counterculture of that time. I mean, I knew if I opened a restaurant that people would come because they wanted to support people who were, your friends, and they were doing something very different than the establishment. And we could never get a loan for the restaurant. We had to just borrow from dope dealers. No, actually my parents mortgaged their house so that we could have the money. And luckily the real estate was very inexpensive at that time, and I made my one very thrilling financial decision. I wanted to own the building. So we had a lease with an option to buy. And we bought the building 2 years after for $28,000. And it saved Chez Panisse, let me tell you.